If you're divorcing a narcissist and you're scared about money, whether there will be enough, whether assets are being hidden, whether you're going to be financially okay, I want to start by saying this very clearly, that fear is not irrational and it's not accidental. Financial control is one of the most powerful tools narcissists use during divorce. And today, I want to help you understand what's really happening so you can stop making decisions from fear and start making decisions from strategy. I'm Victoria McCooey. I'm a high conflict divorce coach, a divorce mediator, and the creator of She Breaks Free. I work with women every day who are divorcing narcissistic partners, and financial fear is one of the biggest reasons women get stuck, settle too early, or give up leverage they didn't need to give up. I want to share something from my own divorce because this is where this really gets real. At one point, we had sold a house and there was a sizable amount of money sitting in escrow. My husband came to me with what sounded like a very clean, simple proposal. Take 50% each, share the kids 50-50, no child support, no ongoing obligations, just walk away. And I remember how tempting that felt. Because when you're in the middle of a divorce like this, all you want is relief. You want it to be over. You want peace. You want your life back. But something didn't feel right. And this is something I really want you to pay attention to, because when you're dealing with a narcissist, your intuition is often picking up on things your mind doesn't have evidence for yet. My thought was, if he's advocating this strongly, it probably isn't in my best interest. And I was right. What I didn't know at the time was that there was a significant amount of debt that hadn't fully surfaced yet. If I had agreed to that deal, I would have walked away thinking I was getting half. But once that debt came to light, I would have been equally responsible for it, which means I would have walked away with nothing. On top of that, I would have been responsible for the majority of the children's expenses because he wasn't going to pay for anything, even on his own parenting time. And I would have had no ability to go back later for child support or college contributions or anything else. That clean break would have cost me everything. But because I didn't rush, because I didn't let that moment of pressure dictate my decision, something very different happened. When all of that debt finally surfaced, it was assigned to his side of the ledger. So when the money was ultimately distributed, I came out in a much stronger position. And that is exactly why I'm so careful about this message. Because what feels like relief in the moment can create long-term consequences you can't undo. So let's zoom out and talk about what's really happening in these situations. When you're divorcing a narcissist, money is not just about numbers, it's about control. And financial control doesn't always look obvious. It shows up as limited access to information or delayed or incomplete documents, sudden financial changes, statements that create fear, hearing you're going to end up with nothing, or you can't afford this, or you should just settle. And over time, that creates a very specific emotional state. You start to feel unsafe. And when you feel unsafe, you start making decisions differently. You prioritize speed over protection, relief over outcome. And that shift from strategy to fear is exactly what the narcissist is trying to create. Because when you're afraid, you're easier to control. So let's talk about what not to do. Do not rush decisions because you feel financially panicked. Do not assume that what you're being told is complete or even accurate. Do not rely on verbal agreements. Do not agree to vague or informal terms. And do not trade long-term security for short-term relief, because those are all fear-based decisions. And fear-based decisions almost always benefit the other side. So what does the shift look like? The shift is moving from fear-based thinking to information-based thinking. You gather facts. You allow the process, especially discovery, to unfold. You rely on professionals and you give yourself time to understand what's actually happening. Now, I want to acknowledge something here because this is where a lot of women feel stuck. They think, I can't afford to fight this. I don't have the resources. And those concerns are real. But rushing into a bad financial decision often costs far more in the long run. So instead of asking, how do I get out of this quickly? A better question is, how do I protect myself properly? Because protection is what creates stability, not speed. And when you approach it that way, everything starts to feel different. You become more grounded, more clear, more deliberate, even if the situation isn't resolved yet, because control doesn't come from how fast things end. It comes from how you move through the process. And over time, clarity emerges, information surfaces, and your position becomes stronger. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. When a narcissist uses money during a divorce, the goal is not fairness, it's fear. And when you stop making decisions from fear and start anchoring yourself in information and strategy, you take back your power and your future. If this is something you're facing and would like some guidance, you can book a breakthrough call with me. There's a link in the description below where you can get right on my calendar. Did you find this information helpful? I hope you did. If you liked this video, will you please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I've linked a couple of other videos here that I think you might also like, so I hope I see you in the next video.